Hi, everyone. It's Tony and Rob here, co-founders of Great Ideaz. And today we wanted to talk about the origin story of trellispark and why trellispark was even invented. So, Tony, why invent trellispark? What was going through your head when you started building and creating this product?
So fundamentally, although I'm a bit of a workaholic, I'm also very, very lazy. I get bored out of my mind writing lots and lots of CRUD code. So the basic create, read, update, delete code that's at the heart of most applications bores me to tears. So I have spent decades looking for shortcuts that help me and the teams that I lead develop solutions.
So, it sounds like then really what you did is you spent a lifetime trying to find solutions to difficult problems in software development. And that's essentially what started the whole genesis of this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've spent decades of consulting on every aspect of software development, from high level strategic analysis, business analysis. I've done consulting engagements where I've led DevOps teams doing quality control, testing for flight safety critical avionics systems, product development, software development, system level architecture, building new solutions using new technologies, always at the cutting edge of what is currently technically possible.
So, let's put this into context then. How many people are we talking about have actually contributed and influenced what you've done as far as like pulling together the trellispark framework, or what we call now the trellispark framework?
So I've worked with dozens of projects across many industries. And, if you added them all up, we're probably into the hundreds, if not thousands, of developers and other IT professionals that I've worked with over the course of working life. And all of those people, in some respects, have helped and contributed, to the approaches that we're incorporating into trellispark. Some on a positive side, some on a negative side. But there's lots and lots of experience that I've built the trellispark foundation on. And what we've been doing is we've been consistently taking the best ideas, the best thought processes and lessons learned of hundreds of developers, architects, DevOps people, testers over the course of decades. And we've basically been synthesizing that into a single coherent framework that we're bringing to market now as trellispark.
So you've got all the battle scars, so to speak, and you've been able, and not just you yourself and your experiences, but also all the other people that you've been working with on all these various software development projects over many decades of your career and your lifetime in software development. And you synthesize all that together into a bunch of pragmatic approaches and architectural approaches that have been folded into trellispark. Is that basically summarize what's happened over those decades?
Yeah, exactly. And as we've gone through the processes of building out these projects and making them successful, all of these shortcuts, if you like, or approaches that we've been working and building have been peer reviewed, by other developers and other IT professionals at the time. And they've been incorporated into successful projects. And even the negative stuff, even the things that didn't work, we've learned from those and we've modified the framework to avoid those pitfalls on future projects. So over the course of decades, we've matured, a fairly solid, coherent framework that covers everything from deployment on particular infrastructures, security, robustness, scalability, from a few users to social networks for millions of users. All of that has basically been figured into the network over time and reviewed by other developers. And at this point, what we have is a very mature and pragmatic framework that's easy for me to actually teach to new developers. And it's a process and a product that, we're now ready to share with the world.
And that's really key. Like this has grown way beyond just, you and your experiences and working with developers and everybody else. Like this is much more than that. At this point, what else have we done to go way beyond just your experiences as far as productizing and creating trellispark?
We've separated out a website for data agnostic services, which describes some of the fundamental architectural principles that underlie trellispark. And we've done that in a vendor agnostic way, right? So it's not, about how does trellispark work and how do we implement it, but the basics of how data agnostic service architecture works and how it extends microservices have been published as a separate site to what we do. And obviously, we've basically taken the ideas there, and we have a very specific implementation that's based around Microsoft Framework and Blazor components, where we're bringing together all of the latest Microsoft platform technologies. We've incorporated a ton of training material and documentation. And essentially, as developers, we have built a framework for other developers with the intention it's easy for those developers to pick the framework up, to understand how that framework works, and then to be able to apply it in their own terms and their own scope of control on their own projects.
Yeah, and that's awesome, and that brings us to where we are today as a product, and where trellispark has matured to. We've got now just an arsenal of supporting information, knowledge base, how-to videos, and everything around different aspects of what you can do with the platform. We have all sorts of support around that, where people can reach out to us, and we'll get back to them on answering any kind of technical questions that they may have with the platform. We've really productized this in the sense that all of the steps around how you would deploy and install the framework and go through that whole process has all been streamlined and smoothed out. So I think we really do have a very powerful platform today.
To learn more about Great Ideaz products and solutions, visit greatideaz.com. That's Great Ideaz with a Z.com. Thanks.